for our guy Tom Murphy, Whole Hog Sports, Arkansas Democrat-Gazette, who now joins us. Now, Tom, I know this is probably surprising to you, but Bob's already made headlines down here in San Francisco, building relationships, cracking up different players and coaches. But these press conferences that we got a chance to listen to three Gonzaga players, Mark Few, Jalen Williams, J.D. Note, Aldis Toney, and Eric Musselman. And once again, I found Eric Musselman, we played at the top of our open, him talking about how there's no respect from the national media that Arkansas has a chance in this game. Tom, if you had to guess, how many times do you think Muss is playing these clips or showing these tweets or finding these news clippings to his team? Is there a percentage that you think he's doing that during film sessions? Because he keeps on talking about it.
Good morning, everybody. I don't know. It's hard to put a number on it, but I would think they kind of stick to the business. I mean, they might promote a few of the more, egregious in their eyes, disrespect comments that they see. And I did notice that the ESPN Power Index has Arkansas as a 14% chance to win.
Yep.
Oh, so, yeah, that might be worth throwing a little something on, but there's a reason that Gonzaga is the number one seed, y'all. I mean, they have the best shooting percentage in the country, 52% or something, which is just an incredible number. Their offensive efficiency, they lead the country in scoring. It's off the charts. So Arkansas is going to have to play a lot better. I mean, their defense has got to be really good, but their offense has got to kick it up a notch for them to have a chance to win this game.
Tom, Arkansas kind of has one hand tied behind their back if J.D. Note is not shooting the ball well because he's gotten to the rim, but we saw the 4 charges in this last game. How do you get him to just make shots today? Because his three-point percentage has been dreadful the last few games. What's the key to getting him open looks, and is it just the day's rest because of how many minutes he's logged this season?
That is a great question, and if they that's a key part in trying to win this game. I did the math on JD, and so you go back to the Kentucky game, and he was 13 of 26. He exploded, National Player of the Week, 30 points, great game. But since that Kentucky game, the last 6 games, his shooting percentage is in the, I want to say it's around 27, 28% shooting altogether, and three-point shooting is around 19%. So these are not good numbers. And some of the threes he took were early in the shot clock against Vermont and New Mexico State. I think he's at his best when he can penetrate to the basket and, get himself going, so to speak. It's going to be hard against Holmgren, who's a great shot blocker. So maybe the deal is try to penetrate and then dish to cutting teammates like Toney and Amude and them. So if he's off, the task to upset Gonzaga is monumental. Mm-hmm. He needs to have a good game for the Razorbacks.
Not going to do it without defense tonight. That's the hallmark of an Eric Musselman team. You mentioned the number 52% for Gonzaga in shooting. You don't have to usually watch a lot of film to understand they're getting points inside when you're clipping off 52% of your shots. But they're also a great three-point shooting team, Tom, 37+% on the season. What's the balance here? Because Arkansas is not a great three-point defending team. We know that. But this is a team that likes to go inside out and then also get you off balance defensively. How does Arkansas stay on balance tonight and still try to guard with man defense?
Well, I mean, that's a great question. And because Eric Musselman and his staff are so astute at how they set up defensive plans, I would think that whatever they come up with is going to be a good idea if they can execute it. They're going to have to mix things up. To me, how you guard Timmy is going to be a great question because is he 6'9"? Well, does that mean do you try Amude on him, or do you try do you give Wade the assignment on him because you think Toney would be out on them hard or one of the guards? Toney might even end up guarding Timmy some, and which there's a 3-inch discrepancy, and then Jalen Williams is going to be on a much taller guy who can shoot outside. So this is going to be a tough one. I think of all the things you have to do in this game, and I don't know, I seem obsessed with this, they've got to attack the offensive board some. And I know that Gonzaga can have run-outs, that they're great in transition. But if they can keep the ball on their end some and get some second chance points, which I thought were lacking in the first two games, it could be a difference maker. But this is a monumental task defensively because they're balanced. They have 5 guys who average in double figures.
Right.
Their guards are good. They have a great inside game, post-to-post stuff. So Gonzaga, if Arkansas wasn't playing Gonzaga, I think they're fun to watch, and I kind of root for Mark Few on the side. But in this game, Arkansas's got to be the next team that sends them packing. It makes disappoints their best to win one national championship.
Yeah, and you mentioned that you kind of led me into my next point or question with you. It's with 5 players in double figures, how do you create or how do you design help side defense? I mean, who do you leave to double up on somebody, knowing that you're going to leave a shooter open or leave somebody open that's lethal offensively? Because when you look at their stat sheet, it's clear that the points can come from a lot of places.
Yeah, absolutely. It just makes the defensive plan that much tougher because if you're taking a risk if you cheat off to double on Timmy or anything that you choose to do where you come off or trap. If Gonzaga is a smart enough passing team to get the ball out of the trap and find the open man. So this is going to be a real challenge. And I like the way you set this section up with me and how much it would mean to Eric Musselman. And I think there's a component here that's hard for us to gauge, that it's like almost such a homecoming when his mom's going to be there and coach there. And they come in and they try to recruit Razorback fans over from the local populace, and it seems to have worked. And so there's going to be a segment of the crowd who are neutral who probably are going to wind up pulling for the Razorback.
So does that put more pressure on Musselman personally, knowing Mom's right behind you, your family's there, but so many familiar faces maybe you hadn't seen in 15 years when you coached out there in the early 2000s? Is that more pressure on Eric himself? Maybe not the team, but for Eric to win for all those that are there to support him?
I mean, it's a component, but he's been doing this long enough. He's enough of a veteran, and his players can execute the plan. And look, Memphis's athleticism in the first half, and I wasn't able to watch it, but I was keeping track. Their athleticism was an issue for Gonzaga. So I'm sure there are some things that the Razorbacks can take from that to try to apply themselves and to try to get Gonzaga down. But, it didn't seem to faze them. They came back pretty strong, and it was a great game. I did get to see the finish or listen to it. So Arkansas just wants to just be in the game, Unlike they got behind against Baylor, and it just never felt like they were quite in the game. And if they can be in this one, they've done some really good work down the stretch in 5 games this year.
Tom Murphy with us here on the Morning Rush. Tom, let's jump over to the big NFL headline from yesterday. Tyreek Hill heading to the Miami Dolphins. If you're an Arkansas fan and you're a Kansas City Chiefs fan, what do you think about the prospect of Hunt's drafting Treylon Burks?
Well, I like it. And Hill has been just a singular force in that he makes players be off him a little bit because, he's so fast. But then when he catches it, there can be guys behind him that can't catch up to him, and he scores touchdowns from long distances. So as a guy who likes the Chiefs, you don't like them losing. But Lord, they're getting a lot in return. I mean, it's first and second, and they're getting a bunch of picks out of it. So if Burks is up there, what a big deal that would be for Razorback fans who would have the closest access in the NFL to watching him up in Kansas City. I would love it.
Yeah.
Tom, we'll leave it there. Appreciate your time as always, buddy. We'll see what happens tonight, and we'll react to it and more on Monday, okay?
All right. That sounds like a good plan. See y'all. Have a good weekend.
All right, Tom Murphy with us, Arkansas Democrat-Gazette.
That time of year, college basketball takes center stage with the tournament finally upon us. If you're looking to wager this year, BetOnline is the #1 spot for all your updated odds and info, along with great contests, including the bracket contest, where you can have a chance to take home the top prize. Head over to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Just use our promo code BELIEVE to get started. That's That's BLEAV. BetOnline is your continued source for all your sports wagering needs, including live betting and your favorite Vegas casino games. BetOnline, where the game starts.